I went into care because I did want to be a midwife. I have 2 young children, so going to university and training to be a midwife and things was just not an option really. I thought, what else could I do that was along the same lines, helping somebody kind of in the health sort of sector with no experience, so I chose care.
I used to look after a lady privately, and then she became poorly and went into hospital. So I helped her out a lot while she was in hospital, and one of the last things she said to me was she thought that I would be a good carer, which I wasn't too sure about because I'd never even thought about it. But after she'd passed away, it was difficult. So after about a year, I then see an advert for Bluebird, phoned up and had an interview, and that's how I came to go for an interview for Bluebird.
I found out about Bluebird Care from a friend, and she worked in the office that I was working in. She left, and then she rang me and said, I'm working as a carer. And I said, oh, I don't think I can do that. And she said, if I can do it, you can do it. And she arranged for me to have an interview, and I haven't looked back. I started, as I say, 10 years, and I've got no intention of going anywhere else.
Before I worked at Bluebird, I was a training assistant at a local school. I wanted to change career paths, so I started work for Bluebird alongside my teacher's assistant job, because I hadn't worked in care before, and because I've been working with children for quite a few years, I thought I would try and give a different aspect of my experiences to the older generation.
With care, you think you've got no experience, but in actual fact, you do. You just don't realise that the things you do in life, it counts as experience. For example, being a mum, you raising children, or being a wife, looking after your husband, or husband looking after your wife. You're caring for people all day long. And so you don't realise that until somebody points it out to you. So when I went for my interview, and I was interviewed by a lady called Kim, and she said to me, you may think you've got no experience, but actually you do. You've raised children. That is, if you can be a mum, you can be a carer. And she was right. She really was.
I initially overcome my nervousness simply by, well, it was a lot to do with the customers. And just knowing, even though I was nervous, there was part of me that knew why I was nervous, because I obviously was passionate about what I did.
For anybody that wants to go into care but is worrying that they've got no experience, don't worry. Anything you're not sure on, or any extra training or help you want in any sort of way, Bluebird would give you it anyway, so do it.